Hairbrain Comedy presents.
Cool. So this is picking fights. UFC 266 with DJ Dangler and the world famous
Jasper T. Colbaire.
This is a fun fight card, 266. What do you think about it, Jasper?
I think they finally got one. I think that they gave us what we needed. A couple of title fights, a Legends fight, and some good contenders. Like, that's what pay-per-views are supposed to be. You don't have to do one every month. I don't know where that came from, where we think we just have to have one just because WWE does it. I think we can all recognize there's a difference between SummerSlam and Money in the Banks.
Yeah, we can definitely realize that. And I think you're right. When you were like, I don't know where that came from, I'll tell you exactly where it came from. Dana White saw the kind of revenue that you can make off a monthly pay-per-view.
Hell yeah.
This is what I like to call, like, this feels like a fight designed for the lapsed fan, for the UFC fan that like hasn't watched in a year or two.
Yeah, because they don't even know that Nick Diaz has been gone for 5 years.
Yeah. Oof. It is a weird, we've made that comparison just now with the WWE, but that is weird. This does feel like, hey, here's the name you know from your childhood.
Yeah, this is like the Royal Rumble, where it's like, oh my God, number 38 Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, what's he doing? I didn't know
he can't walk. Alive. He can't get to the ring, but he's gonna wrestle.
These guys can both still walk, but they had a fight 17 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Think about if Nick Diaz got a lady pregnant after the fight that night, he and that kid would be fighting right now. That kid would be big enough to be like, I'm gonna fight my dad. I assume that would happen. That would happen.
I think it happens earlier, I would assume, in the Diaz household.
They'd have been full on fighting for 14 years.
At this point in the story, ain't it supposed to be their kids that are the ones fighting, and they're the trainers?
Well, let's get to it. We have Jessica Andrade versus Cynthia Calvillo.
Yeah, number 1 versus number 5. You can't really ask for more than that when you're opening up a pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, these are fun fighters. I enjoy watching both of these women fight. I think I'm going to go Andrade.
I gotta say so, man. We watched Andrade drop some title fights, but until somebody else further down rankings is able to put an ass whooping on her, I'm calling this the Joseph Benavidez rule, where she's just going to be the eternal number 1 contender.
There's nothing wrong with Cynthia Calvillo's game.
No.
Nothing wrong. She's super tough, but but we've seen Andrade fight 5-round fights before, so it's not like she's untested in that duration.
And she is just a fucking powerhouse. If you can be 5'2" and weigh in at 125 pounds and still be a goddamn beast that's impressive, then my money's going on you.
Is giving up a little height, and with that I'm going to assume some range, but I don't think enough to change things. I don't even want to say I don't want to say she's even more well-rounded. I just think she's just a touch better.
Yeah, she's a fucking bulldog, man. She's a tough thing to deal with. And with saying that, then if Cynthia beats her, then hey,
then way to go. I'm sitting here,
ain't impossible.
Tell you what, Andrade is such a good fighter. I won't even make fun of her nickname, Pile Driver. How's that? So then we're talking about people now literally 2 times bigger as we move on to a big heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
Smart move putting this on the card. There are a lot of great smaller fights on this, but two great big dudes banging around. Number 4, Curtis Blades.
Yep.
Taking on number 6, Jarinho. You want to give it a shot?
Jaranzino Rosenstreich.
It's a badass name. It's awesome. I'm screwing it up, and I apologize.
Yep, he can keep it.
I like it that they call him Big Boy. That makes it a lot
that's
easier.
easy. I can say that.
Yeah,
Big Boy.
When you were growing up, what was the Big Boy? Do you remember? Mine was an Azars. The guy with the hamburger.
We didn't have them.
Oh no,
No,
mine was Azars.
we
I
had the
know,
little store, and it was just it wasn't even a gas station. They got gas pumps later, but the little store, it was just a place where you could go get beef jerkies and caffeine pills.
yeah, that was all they sold. It was Hank's caffeine and jerky.
They had a Chester fried sign where it was Chester the chicken, and then his son. I don't know what his son's name was. Someone's gonna have to Google that. And the kid said in a word balloon, "Dad's some good chicken." Meaning, eat my dad, everybody.
Oh,
eat
that's
my daddy.
That is so. I hate that. That is not okay. Chester's Pro Cannibal Chicken Shack is gross.
My dad is delicious.
Oh, I hate it. He is a big boy, 6'2", 254, 242. Yeah. I've seen a couple of different weigh-ins at different fights.
That's a big boy, but Curtis Blades is a bigger boy.
I didn't realize just how massive Curtis Blades is because he's a physical specimen. Like, I mean, he's built like a swimmer.
When fighting's done, Curtis Blades is going to like coach little kids sports and sell life insurance. I don't know that Big Boy has any career options outside of knocking dudes the fuck out.
Yeah, so is that where you're going to go? You think he's going to knock him out?
I think that he's got 3 rounds to do it. He's got 3 rounds to touch him once. And Curtis has to perform perfectly to win this fight. He could do it. He's capable of it. But I don't know. He also got dropped and looked real stupid against Derek Brunson. So Big Boy's probably going to knock him out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's a great big dude and a great big target. I'll tell you what. Looking at the size, I'll take Razor Blades. What a great name! What a pro wrestling name! If this guy gets knocked out, he should immediately pack up and go to fake fighting.
Yeah.
Just
no adjustments needed.
Yeah, no adjustment. Keep your name. Keep the black eye. Go in there looking tough. Yeah.
Just keep your shirt on if you're Cain Velasquez, or you're gonna get fired.
I think Rosenstruck is a better fighter, but I don't think he is the same level of athlete as Blades.
That's fair.
Right. Then we have our weird Legends fight, and it's no longer at welterweight.
No longer at welterweight.
Bumped. How do you feel about this?
About the weight class or the fight in general?
Fight in general.
I think that there's plenty of reasons to not think it's awesome because it doesn't matter. But I know that we are probably going to take more time talking about this than either one of the title fights that are on this card. I think more eyes are going to be watching the pay-per-view because of this fight than either of them title fights.
I think you're totally right. I think you're 100% right.
And I want to see what happens 16 years later when these same dudes fight, because their first fight was fucking awesome. And both these dudes are always fun to watch. And you're looking at both are dudes who take a shitload of damage in their fights and persevere. Both are dudes who are capable of knocking the other one out. Robbie more so with explosive one strike knockouts. Nick with his just put the pressure on you, work you, outstrike you. He knocks somebody down with something that looks like it was 25% power, but just put it on you. And I think this is going to be a 5-round bloodbath that both of these guys should probably have to go to the hospital, and both of these guys probably shouldn't have put their families through what's about to happen to them.
I will say, who do you like?
Oh, I gotta go Diaz. I can't not go Diaz. Even when Diaz fought George St. Pierre, I knew he was gonna fucking lose. But if you asked me before the fight, I said, no way, Nick Diaz, baby.
Yeah, I understand, and I get that. I might have agreed with you, and this might sound backwards, but just finding out that Nick Diaz has requested this weight be bumped up to middleweight,
yeah,
to me, it says he's had a bad training camp. I'll tell you who Nick Diaz owes an apology to is Ruthless Robbie Lawler's girlfriend, who's probably missed out on a lot of dates and decent eating in the last 3. She's probably the most pissed off. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, she's had a starved animal.
Chicken breast. Yeah.
I don't think Nick Diaz is going to apologize to anybody, though.
I don't think he's. No, I don't think. I don't think Lawler's date should be expecting a sweet gift card. I think Robbie Lawler is a disciplined fighter, past his prime for sure. Coming out, of course, all of that is true.
Yeah.
But I think that's a dude that shows up and punches the clock every day. And I think he's going to come in and punch a clock and punch a chin. This is just a fun like statistic. I didn't realize this. 75% finish rate for Ruthless.
He had some fights where like Colby Covington just walked him down, just jabbed him in the face over and over, and Robbie always looked like he was waiting to like pick a great counter shot that he just never got the opportunity to throw out. And you're talking about Nick Diaz's game right there, just like peppering you and not letting you sit down. So, and that's kind of how he beat him the first time they fought 16 years ago, is Robbie come winging big-ass punches and Nick just stayed out of range, just hitting him in the chin. I'm going to watch these dudes fight, man. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to fucking love it. And I'm going to watch their first fight 10 times before Saturday night, just getting ready for it.
Is that what they are doing instead of a prelim? Flyweight Women's Championship, Valentina Shevchenko takes on Lucky Lauren Murphy. It's hard for me to bet against Shevchenko.
Shevchenko, I just assume she's going to beat everybody she fights, no matter where. She took Andrade. She took her down. She took Andrade down and whooped her ass. She got seven wins by knockout, 7 wins by submission, 7 wins by decision. She can do it all. 7-7-7. And we're calling Lauren lucky? I don't think so, baby.
Lucky Lauren has 8 wins by knockout. Let's not dance around. That's a ton of knockouts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's over half her fights, or over half her wins, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you're telling me she's going to knock out the bullet? I don't know. And unless Shevchenko gets sloppy, but I think it's going to be a lot of years before that chick gets sloppy.
Shevchenko's still fighting like a contender. She's not fighting like a champ. Since we agreed, do you want to she's gone 7-7-7. How do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be a clean knockout KO win.
All right, I'm going to. This is such a parsing bullcrap choice. I think it's going to be a TKO dirty knockout.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a similar. I think she's going to box with her, and I think she's going to be just as good as Lucky. And then when Lucky falls, she'll swarm her, and the ref's going to have to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but we're saying it's going to be a stand-up fight.
Then another championship fight, and a good one. And I don't love praising the lighter dudes, but featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski taking on Brian Ortega.
Alexander Volkanovski is about as complete as a fighter as you're ever going to see. But UFC would much rather Brian Ortega be their champion. He hangs out with Halle Berry. He could be on the Tonight Show playing fucking dumb Plinko games with Jimmy Fallon's. Like
his dreamboat.
Yeah, so Alexander Volkanovski should win this fight easily, but he ain't gonna. Brian T. City Ortega is going to be our champion by any means necessary. Referee, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, tip, tip.
You think that's it? Yeah, I get it. I think the great Volkanovski. I think he looks like you've taken 2 different action figures, broke them apart, and put them together.
Yeah, not to scale.
Yeah, like his upper body does not match his lower. Like, looks like you put a Heat Man on a G.I. Joe. Like he's a weird. I think he's a terrible matchup for Ortega. I think he's going to beat Ortega. I think he's going to beat Ortega badly.
If Ortega's stand-up has really gotten that much better, it might force Volkanovski to try to wrestle. And, man, I was about to say T-City might get a guillotine, but how are you going to put a guillotine on that dude?
Like, how do you get a submission on that weird... Like I told... He's designed to not get submit. He doesn't have a neck. If he was an 18th century French aristocrat, they would have to be like, no, we're just gonna shoot this one. Like, he doesn't have... They can't guillotine him.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
Let him eat shit. He's not a star. He was not
they
a
don't
star.
want him to be champ.
Yeah.
They had him fight Holloway, and then they were like, let Holloway try again.
God, they want Ortega to win this fight. Because what do you do with Ortega if he loses again?
Holloway tore Ortega apart.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it was weird because Ortega had looked so good, and then it just was a completely different animal.
Maybe it was. Maybe Ortega is better than that, and it was just a bad day.
Maybe.
I mean, fighting more than any other sport that's possible.
Sure.
But just based on what I've seen, I don't think Ortega can put down Volkanovski.
Win by rig, T-City. Halle Berry's going to put the belt around his waist.
For UFC 266, I'm DJ Dangler.
I'm Jasper T. Colbaire. See you on the other side.